Well, hello, and I'm back, and welcome to the Monday night episode of the Blitz Pickup. Now, I've been hearing some things. I'm hearing that people are getting underneath my skin and that I don't know how to handle. Listen, and that's why I took off. Really? I'm not afraid of no smoke. I live for the smoke. I'm here. I'm back, and I'm going to keep coming back. Why? Because I like y'all, and it's fun talking about the Miami Dolphins. So on tonight's show, which might get a little bit interesting towards the end, um, will Aaron Brewer hold out? Then the Miami Dolphins finally addressed and notified us about the personnel changes. Guess we'll get into that. Also, we're going to talk about, does Malik have enough weapons in order to be successful and get to those 11 wins that Tony has been preaching about? Crazy. You know what? I'm not stirring the pot early. And then also, money has freed up, and there's some things that we should probably be getting done with that money. There's some rookies that still need to be signed. There were some players that were brought in for trial. So listen, will we get to all of that? I hope so. But Tony, you might as well come on up because I'm here. Your minions are here, and it's Monday. It's Monday.
What's
I'm
good?
excited.
Hey, welcome back, Miss Sunday. welcome,
Thank you.
welcome back. I don't believe no one was taking shots at you.
I heard shots.
No, I'm just saying.
I heard
I
shots.
listened to I went back and listened to. I don't remember any shots being taken. But
No, no,
before
no,
we
no. Like
confirm
later on
nor
in
deny.
spaces and stuff. Not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
spaces.
I can neither confirm nor deny if shots were taken. But listen, prayers up to my brother Lou. Hey,
Absolutely.
listen, he good. He just that first round of physical therapy, and I ain't. Hey, listen, something you got to get used to it. So life be life, and so shout out to my boy. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take the day off. But just it's back to Memphis Sanity. I guess they just want to take turn arguing with me. I don't know. I
I don't
think they
even
take a
like to
turn
argue. That's the
coming
thing.
for the smoke is crazy. Now, me and Lou was kind of cordial on the first day back that he was on the episode, but it's crazy because in the spaces we just we was attacking each other from the rip. Like we didn't even say hi before we just started attacking each other. Well, technically, I went up there and attacked him first, but I'm just saying it was like
Well,
business as usual when he came back. So, but listen, man, he took a day off, man. You know what I'm saying to get healthy. And I ain't gonna say get healthy. He just needed some rest right now. Y'all know what he's going through after that surgery, so we'll be back in full function with the full crew. Hopefully with the full crew on Wednesday. But with all that being said, how's your day, Fisani? How you doing?
my day's great. I'm
I
doing
don't want to
well.
argue.
No, listen, there was some exciting NFL news. I always, love when things change and we'd have new football favorites. Your guy, right? Your guy got a defensive weapon, so congrats to him. And the West Coast right now. California knows how to party. Allegedly.
Oh, facts. Shout
We don't. Listen. See, that was not an alley oop for you to go on your tangent because I know that's one of your guys.
Shout out to Mystic, man. That's all I was gonna say. Shout out to my brother Mystic. And my guy, our guy, Niner 87. I heard, my boy was going through some things, tearing up a couple of house appliances or whatever it was, because Miles Garrett is officially in that division right now. So I don't know, shout out. I know you're, 49er fan, and I'm a Matthew Stafford guy, but yeah, Mystic told us that, prayers up to him. You know what I'm saying? Brother going through some mental health issues, maybe or whatever. But so yeah, what you thought about that before we get into the show? You thought about him going over there to the Rams. They are the kings or queens
Mm-hmm.
or however you want to say. They F them picks. That's their mantra. Like I don't know what them people don't care about picks, and they've
You,
been doing this for years now. So what's your thoughts about that? Them
when that
all in.
happened, listen. That's what the Rams is known for doing. I believe if Stafford stays healthy, that's a big part.
Yes.
And Puka can get his, mind on football. I think they have a really great shot. They added a lot of defensive weapons. What the best cornerback, the best edge, um, and they brought over the counterpart. So these are guys outside of Miles Garrett in the secondary that know how to win the big game. And that they added to their secondary. But the first thing that I thought about after we got off of all of that, I remember last offseason, right? Someone, I'm not going to say the name of the player, but the player said, I want out, I want to win, right? They throw a whole bunch of money at him. He has a record breaking season,
Season.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and he is no longer on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a question. Did he really want to be? We don't have to get back to that conversation. That's my thoughts. That's my only thoughts. You're where you want to be until you don't want to be there. But I'm excited for him. He has a legitimate chance
Yo, you
to
came
win a
back.
Super Bowl. He's one of like the best defensive players we've seen in a long time. But we've seen a lot of greats. I'm not going to negate the greatness that we have seen, but right now he definitely owns that. I'm excited to see what the Rams do with that. As we know, football is all about health, and if they can stay healthy, they will definitely be in the NFC Championship game. So what a move by their GM, trying to capitalize on all the years that he has the services of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, and I this may be Matthew Stafford last season. I do believe it could be, even though he technically can't come back next season. They got Todd Simpson in the building. You know what? It could possibly. It depends on his development, how soon he could develop, and how quickly he could pick up the pace of the NFL. I think that'll go a long way into determining whether Matthew Stafford feel like he has to. Oh no, I'm not gonna say have to, or if he will be willing to retire. Because I think Sean McVay, we all saw, his mood. Let's say like he didn't. He's a big Matthew Stafford guy.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna convince him as much as he can to stay as long as he feel like, he can win with Matthew Stafford and not rush the young man in Todd Simpson into the NFL and groom him the right way. So I think that's the best approach when it comes to quarterbacks, with grooming them behind a savvy veteran, especially one that has proven that he can win and win the big game. There's a lot to learn there, and take away that pressure of being a first round draft pick, because that's that immediate pressure. Oh, you got to win now. They drafted you in the first round. They taking more of the Jordan Love approach. He was taking more mid rounds, not top 10, to where that pressure is on immediately. It will buy them some time. Now, however, you do want to toe that fine line, because you only got technically 5 years under that rookie contract, but you already taken 1 year off, so you basically only going to have around 2 to 3 years to see if he has it before you have to start talking about contracts. Because at the year 3, in year 4, you're gonna have to figure out whether or not you're gonna pick up that 5th year option or not, and then how you're gonna move forward. So let's see. It's just interested to me to see how they're gonna move forward. But shout out to them. Before we go to our show, though, another big name drop, right? Big move this offseason. AJ Brown is official. He went to the Patriots. What you thought? Who was it? Somebody was talking about, that they don't think it was going to happen, today, and then the news dropped. I forgot who it was. It was in a space though, and the news dropped, and I'm like, that all, it was already but confirmed. Like, it was all but confirmed way before then. Shout out to Diana Rossini, what I'm saying, for dropping that news for all the haters, and then all of a sudden, what do you think about the Patriots now?
I think thought about them because I had in mind that AJ Brown was going to be on the roster. It was pretty much written in the skyline. We were just waiting for June 1st. So I do think it was savvy of them to wait a little bit when there was a bigger news out, and then let that go, and then now they get a little bit of the media cycle, but without the same attention, because obviously the story for today will be Myles Garrett joining the LA Rams. I think that it kind of keeps the spotlight off of them, even though they've made a really great move for Drake May and for the offense. So great strategy, great player. We're going to get cooked that day, as I had already predicted. But it's okay. Like, it's okay. Who's guarding him? Like, listen, for what it's worth.
What do you mean? All right.
who's guarding him? Who we
Chris
playing now?
Johnson,
Who?
Chris Johnson, Storm Duck, Juju Brent. What you mean? We got whoever gonna be out there. That's who's guarding him. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? It ain't like it ain't. I don't know if they're gonna play man to man across the board. Like you know what I'm saying? They could be running, cover three zone. He do a little zone, get pressure and all that type of stuff. It's not gonna be like one person just guarding him. Like you know what I'm saying? We don't have no one yet. We don't know if Chris Johnson gonna develop into that type of cornerback, but we don't have no one that could just follow the number one receiver all over the board. So it's gonna be a collective effort. That's all. Stop hating. But I think it's very. I think it's you hating on the Dolphins. Or we gonna get cooked. Who's gonna guard him? Come on, man. We'll see.
I'm willing to say right now. I'm willing to say right now. When he played the Dolphins twice, when he played his average for the 2 games for receiving yards might be 130.
Nah, I can't tell you that.
It might be 130.
No, it's not. Come on.
Be.
Well, you want us to win so bad. Like, lose so bad. Like, what you mean?
First of all, I didn't say I want us to lose. I've seen our people have good games and the other team win. I mean, it happens, right? It happens. What I'm just saying is that, like he might average 130 against us, might have a total of like 4 touchdowns in the 2 games.
Not gonna happen. Who's done that to us? Who's done that to us?
Averaged or
average? What you saying right now? Average that.
I would have to look at what Stefan did in that one game against Noah.
Average. I said average, not have that one good game.
Oh, average 130. I would have to go into the books. I would have to go into.
I don't think Stefan did have one. I don't think he had 130 that game. He had 3 touchdowns on Noah, but I don't think he had. There weren't like too many long passes. I don't remember.
Was it Noah? No.
No, Igbenati, yeah. And then no, Cater Kohu? No.
Cater, yes.
No,
he cooked
no,
Cater.
It was Noah.
It might have been Noah, but I know one game he cooked Cater.
Wait, hold on. Cater was, you right. It was Cater the year with Vic Fangio.
I was loathing it the whole game.
I was there. It's crazy because I was there. I was literally in the stadium. I was in Buffalo. Yeah, so it was Cater Kohu. Yeah, that's the time when Xavier Howard and Vic Fangio got into it because Xavier wanted to go over there and Vic Fangio was like, nah, let him do his thing. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I try. First overall pick. That's crazy. I want the games to play out the end of the game.
Yeah, she won the first. That's a fact.
That is crazy to say that.
Like, come on, bro. She been on to 2027. Yeah, that is for sure, Vonjo. 130 average is crazy, man. Shout out to y'all in the chat,
crazy,
man.
It's gonna happen.
Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. Hitting the subscribers up. We appreciate every last one of y'all. Shout out to y'all in the chat. I see y'all. Man, you ready to get rocking? Oh, I think you brought up a good good point, which is they invested in, and I said this earlier, right, in the space, they invested in edge and cornerback, right, on that defense, right, that, they was good at times, but they weren't, like, they was giving up plays and stuff like that, and 2 premium positions, edge and cornerbacks, that could change around your defense immediately. I'm talking about immediately. So, but we'll see. But are you ready to get into the show? You ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Right. Okay, so make sure you guys vote on the poll.
Yeah.
So, news has it that Aaron Brewer did show up for week 1 of OTAs. He wants to be here. Now, week 2, he did not show up. Tony, do you think that this is a hold out, maybe a hold in? How do you think the Aaron Brewer situation is going to play out this offseason?
So they've been speaking about the trenches, how and the importance of the trenches. So I believe if they believe that Aaron Brewer is the caliber of player that he feel he is, and in that to the level that he played in last season, I think they'll eventually get the job done. Now, to the question of whether you feel like it's a hold in or hold out, not yet technically, because it's not, tomorrow is the first mandatory. So that's mini camp, and then you get into training camp. So tomorrow is the first mandatory in which you could get fined for not showing up. So it's cute to do it when you aren't getting fined for it,
Mhm.
because it's voluntary, but now it's mandatory. And I believe he did it like that for a reason, because I do believe he's going to show up. I do. Now, whether he's going to participate, that's a little different case. However, it'll technically be a holding if he don't participate. But he did that in the way that Achan did it, right? Achan did it just the opposite way. He didn't show up the first day, and then he showed up, the second day. And that's just to send a message like, hey, I'm serious. Probably his agent telling him, we have to, I mean, we can't forget about the business aspect of it. So
Mhm.
we have to send a message to let you know that we're serious about getting them the money. But I believe, and this is just my personal belief, this is nothing confirmed or anything. I believe Aaron Brewer is the type, I just say, like how Achan was, how Jordan Brooks are, like their character, they just want to be out there for the guys, right? They don't want to be selfish. It's his agent, and the business part about it be like, you still have to play the game the way the game is supposed to be played. So that one is like, let's send a message, but then go ahead and get back out there and train a camp or a mini camp, because we have to let them know, even though you all about the team, you all about showing up, it's also business is business, nothing personal. So that's what I believe, that's what the purpose of that was for. If he was out there sending a message. As far as once he get there holding in or holding out, I don't think he's gonna hold out. First of all, that's just, so that means he's gonna show up. But if he goes in there and he just showed up, let's say stretch and do like, maybe, I don't know, minimal work, it'll say a lot of, to me it'll say a lot about how close they are or how far they may be when it comes to the contract negotiations. That's going to say a lot to me, because I believe, even though Achan was dealing with an injury, he still was participating in the individual drills, and also he was on the sideline still working out with his personal trainer, when he could have just been standing on the sideline not doing nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it's gonna tell me a lot about how, whatever he does, how much he participates, is gonna tell me a lot about how far along that they might be with that contract. I think, given, if we're going to go based off what he's been saying and how they've been moving, right?
Mhm.
When Sully gave his initial people and the players that he felt like could be, that are important and part of the foundation, and Brunei was a part of that. Remember,
Absolutely.
it was Brewer, it was Achan, it was Patrick Paul, and it was Jordan Brooks. So I don't think it was a coincidence that he mentioned two of the guys that was on contract deals. He had to, obviously he knew that coming into the building. So I think that was just a message to them, saying that, hey, you guys are important. Eventually he wants to get get a deal done, and wants them to be a part of this regime. But the business part is always going to be, negotiations are not going to always go smooth. They aren't. You expect these type of things, give and take. That is the agent portion of it. Now, I got a question for you before I finish this off, because I want to go back to Aaron Brewer real quick.
Mhm.
Um, if what I'm hearing is correct, and this is based the reports coming out, some of the people seem, they was given the impression, some of the beat writers was given the impression as if he seemed a little frustrated, when asked about the contract portion of it, right? At first, they was asking him about why he's showing up, da 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 da, and he gave, his answer always, you want to be a team player, things of that nature. But then when they asked him about how far along are they in the contract, they basically said it seemed like it struck a nerve, and he was like, I don't want to talk about that.
Mhm.
So, question to you: do you think? I mean, now knowing that, you think that could be a possible problem, or what?
Anything could be a possible problem if
As
people
far
are
as, I mean,
like,
as
if,
far as you think it'll drag along into training camp.
I will say, if they are responsive and smart, it shouldn't. Don't go out there and say someone is a core player, and then when it's time to let him know that, the only way you can show these players that it's one through the money. It is what it is, and show that you value them and that you really want to be here, and that they have earned what we're going to give you. Like, So could it be a problem? Yes, I will say depending on what number he wants and what Sully and Brandon Shore feel like he is worth. But I will say this: from what Aaron Brewer's character has shown me before, he's a great locker room guy. He didn't necessarily try to make waves, even when Tua wasn't playing well. He made his statement after the move was made. He already had that frustration, but once it was like, okay, time, like I feel like I can really speak up on this and stuff like that. What's his name? So he's not a guy that's afraid to speak up. Um, I do believe that he's one of the leaders that Halfley saw. So to me, do I think it becomes a problem into training camp? If they're smart, no. Go ahead, get it done. There has to be, some compromises on both sides. He's obviously going to feel like he deserves something, and hopefully the Dolphins can get to it as close as reasonably possible without doing something that they're not comfortable with doing in the long term for the team. Because we've talked about the way that Brandon Shore has set up these contracts and his
Mm-hmm.
maneuvering tactics within it to make it where it's team favorable in certain situations and scenarios. So yeah, I don't think training camp comes around and Aaron Brewer doesn't have a contract. Now, if you ask me about Jordan Brooks, that might be a different thing. But it's also because one, it's trenches. Two, you have your guy in Malik. Oh my gosh, Malik Willis, who's a new
Mm-hmm.
quarterback who needs these reps with Aaron Brewer. And yeah, they can do it outside the facility or whatever. But you want that chemistry being developed on that offensive line. Also, he's the center, he's the general, and everyone else pretty much on that offensive line where you have the insides of him potentially both be young. So you need to build that chemistry. And if you understand that and you understand that trenches are very viable and very important to the point that that's where you said you wanted to focus, Halfley and Sully, you need to get this done so that they can have the most positive reps going forward. And you're not sitting in a situation where it is a hold in or a holdout or frustration. But I will say this: no matter what, I know Aaron Brewer will show up, be ready to play, and play well and play at the high as one of the highest centers in the NFL. So that's what I have to wrap all that up. I tried to get through it quickly. Sorry. Hopefully you guys all
What
caught that.
I think the biggest question for me is how much are you going to pay him and how much is he willing to accept? Right?
See,
Especially after, what title, Linderbaum,
Lindenbuff. See, I did research. I
what he
came
got,
prepared.
he averaged 27, but the guarantee was 60. So, and that's a 3-year extension. So that's 20 million a year. That's around with the guarantee. That's around what, uh, Robert Hunt had got.
Mm-hmm.
But, after that, I believe, it becomes more reasonable. Like Creed Humphreys, but Creed Humphreys got 18 million a year
Yeah,
in a 4 year with 35 guaranteed. So,
but
that's right a little bit below 9 per year. It's getting as far as guaranteed money. So I'll say if Aaron Brewer is the All Pro, so he's
mm-hmm.
most definitely most likely wants to get paid top 5. So, but it's crazy because you go from 27 to 18. Then the Philly guy got 17 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Average annual, and then it goes down to 13 and 12. Aaron Brewer right now is making 10 a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Annually, and his guarantee was like what 10 million. So it wasn't really that much that he was getting guaranteed. So for me, I think he's going to, and this would be interesting to see how they construct it, because I think I seen Von Joe ask how would we feel if they construct it in a similar way as Achan. I'm all for it. If it don't hurt the team dead cap wise, and Stephen Ross is willing to come out of his pocket if anything goes wrong, then I'm cool with that. I'm not mad at it. You either pay him through the salary cap or you pay him through your pocket. Uh, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
if you don't feel like paying him through the salary cap, it's not going to kill it on dead money. He's just going to come out of his pocket, and that I would hope he was structured in that manner. To where always put the team first. So for me, if I'm looking at it, do you what? The question is he willing to accept, let's say, around 15 or 16 a year?
That's what I
Or,
was like. That it should be around. Like I was gonna
right?
say 15. Yeah, I was hoping for 15. Yeah.
or if he like he has to. I don't know because Creed Humphreys, Cam Jurgens, that's his name, Cam Jurgens,
Hmm.
uh, and Tyler Linderbaum. Do you consider him better than any of those guys? You get me? I feel like he might be better than those guys.
I don't think he's better than Creed. And Cam is still young out in Philly. But no. He might
So
be on
hey,
par. He might
so
be
I'm
on
just saying.
par with he might be on par with Cam Jurgens, but I don't think he's better than Creed or Tyler.
Now
But
it's
he's all was he all pro? Like what was his
who
Aaron Brewer, what
he's
did he
all
say?
pro. He was second
He's
team
all
all pro.
pro.
Yes.
So I mean that's
So
on the table.
at minimum,
Hmm.
with that being said, at minimum he has to be technically paid like in top three.
Yep.
Because if he's second team all pro, that means there's only one guy that played at a higher level than him last season. You take that into consideration, and there's only three all pro selections: first, second, and third team. So this with that, you have to hope that you have to guess or assume that he feel like he should at least be top three, which means that'll be above 17 a year annually, right? Because the third guy is exactly at 17 million per season. And how do we feel about that? Now, keep in mind, it's interesting that all those guys that I'm mentioning, they're all 25 years old. And
Mm-hmm.
Brewer's 26, so they're in the same age. It's not like he's old. He's not old, right? So
It's
when we
not
talk
old.
about these guys getting their money, these guys still young, so they're still in their prime. You feel me? I see Von Joe say, I got this 10 and a half. You
It's
feel me?
crazy. No,
But he's still in his prime. I
no,
don't listen.
you gotta pay him. I'm
For
sorry.
me, for me, the mindset for me, I'm like, pay him.
Yeah, you got to.
You know, even if you want to just keep it for 3 years, three. Give, you know what? Von Joe said it perfect. Structure it like a chance deal. Give him a 4-year extension. This year and next year are the only one that you in the money with as far as dead cap, which is technically be another 2-year deal, and then we move forward from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you don't put you don't handcuff your franchise, and also you give yourself and you give Brewer his money and give yourself an out. Both players, I mean both sides have outs, so neither party can say that they feel like they've been taking advantage of it, but both of them both giving and taking something, so you got to yield. It's called, trade off. Both parties have to, consider the trade off. Like, hey, listen, I'm willing to give you this deal, but we're gonna give ourselves an out after the 2 years, and if we move off of you after these 2 years, then it don't kill us. And then Aaron Brewer be like, hey, I'm willing to prove myself and earn the back half of this contract, which is the following 2 years. If you give me a 4-year extension, and show you that, yeah, it's because the way it's set up is he have to be on the roster at a certain time for it
Mm-hmm.
to kick in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so this much is kicked in guaranteed. So we feel like you're that guy in 2028. If you on a roster by, what that is, March 3rd, I think the date is. Typically when the year start to
Yeah.
when the
Early March.
contracts kick in. So it gotta be like around March 3rd or March 5th, whichever date it is. Set it up like that to say, well, yes, long as you make the team, your contract is gonna get paid out in full, as opposed to, just handcuff yourself to that and not having outs. So I think that way, if they structure it similar to the HN deal, we should be cool. We should be fine. Right. And I have no problem with that. Right. And I'm sorry, I did hear you say you feel like he should be around 16 or 18 or something like that.
Okay.
16 or 17, I'm sorry.
I said I feel like I said 15, like off the top of my head when you gave me the numbers. I'm like, you have like, but at the end of the day, as a fan, yeah, you want to give a number, but I do believe you have to pay him. Having a top center is a luxury. is a luxury. It's great to have. And I think also with Malik Willis, um, or a potential younger quarterback maybe coming up in the ranks. You want a veteran like Aaron Brewer who's shown that he can command an offensive line and do his job. I believe for what he did last year with what he had and all the ins and outs of outside, and then having what Jonah was on his left side and the injuries within the offensive line, I think he found a way to manage it decently to where HM was able to still ball out. So it is what it is. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good.
Let's not
He's
forget
good.
that A10 led the league in breaking tackles. So
But here's the question: where was he breaking them?
behind, and he was at the bottom at yards before contact.
Yes.
So that means he
But
was getting contact at the line of behind.
But what's that Aaron Brewer's doing?
Well, I'm just saying that we're going to give Aaron Brewers credit for him.
I think for what he had to manage, he did pretty well for what he had to deal with.
I mean, I could give you that.
I mean, come on, like some guys when they have a lot like Cam, right? No offense to Cam Jurgens, right? What he's had around him at Philadelphia is awesome to be a center and to be able to be young and to come in like that. Aaron Brewer,
he filled some big shoes though.
Huh?
He filled some huge shoes. Those shoes that he had to fill.
Oh yeah,
Jason Kelce.
Absolutely. But he had
and Fred, yes. I'm sorry, Fred. Yes, he played guard. He has played guard before already. Like, yeah, he was a high guard. We moved him back to center. He actually was playing guard before we moved him to center over here, just so you're aware. He was playing guard at Tennessee. Go ahead.
Shout out to him. But also with Cam got Kelsey's approval. Like, he picked Cam for the Eagles to go and get and to be his heir. So, like, let's also make that a known fact too. And he's filled those shoes. So shout out to him. But yeah, I think you have to. I mean, I was on another train earlier in the offseason where I wanted to just get rid of them. No pun intended. Not get rid of them, but trade them. Especially when the one center retired. Did he retire? I think it was the Chicago center retired or something like that. And I was like, what can we get for him? I'm like, but that's when I thought the team was rebuilding, not where they're not in the mentality of rebuilding. So there's a caveat to that. I thought the team was rebuilding. So I was like, oh, go see what you can get for Aaron Brewer from a team like that, especially after they just lost a key piece and you can offer them an all-pro center. Okay, let's see what we can get out of that. You feel me? And then it also gets you out of the money situation of having to pay him. So I was trying to kill a lot of birds with one stone. But when I found out we're not rebuilding and we're competing this year, my whole mindset has been, you have to pay him. That's all. That's my philosophy.
All right, listen, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all subscribing and vote on the poll. Let me see. Let me vote on the poll before I can't. I got to practice what I preach. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Hey, hold on. What the poll? You got rid of the poll, girl?
No, I still didn't the poll.
Oh no, there it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. All right. We doing pretty good so far. All right. So listen, before we go in the next one, I wanted to ask a question too, as far as Jordan Brooks. And I know we don't want to talk about him, but do you think Aaron Brewer get done before Jordan Brooks, right? Because it seems like they're doing it. They're doing it like, hey, listen, we're gonna do Jordan. I mean, it was A10. Now Aaron Brooks didn't show up. Jordan Brooks been there the whole time. So do you think eventually they get all three of them done?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely, all three get done. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Right. But Aaron Brewer first, because they preach trenches.
Yes. If we go about what they've been preaching, then the importance of the trenches are we should keep that same energy. And I've been telling people all the time. I'll be like, yo, listen, let's not like ignore the importance of trenches. Winners and franchise and dynasty are built through the trenches. Let's just keep it 100. Like Tom Brady didn't, for the most part, outside of Randy Moss, he never had the flashy wide receivers and big name running backs like that, right? They brought him Corey Dillon in one season, but for the most part, they were winning with the Antoine Smiths. You know what I'm saying? The those kind of guys. And the fact that Troy, receiver what Troy Brown and things of that nature, but they always kept him off of the line. Always kept him off the line, kept him standing upright, and these are how you win and build dynasties. Also, they kept a defensive line, right? They kept the Willie McGinnis's and the Richard Seymour's and the Vince Wilford and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying? So they kept them a defensive line and a defense because they understand, well, like what most winning franchise understand, you win through the trenches. You can, let's just say, sell tickets by getting the big name free agents and the skill position players. Yeah, you can win you can sell tickets like that. But if you want to be a consistent winner, you need to build through the trenches. Philadelphia built through the trenches. So even when Jalen Hurts don't have his best games, they still can win ball games because they're built through the trenches, both offensively and defensively. The trenches are already there. So when he had them games, when he went 6 games throwing under 200 yards, they still were able to win games because they leaned on their run game, and plus he was a scrambling quarterback, so that added extra dynamic to his game, and they was able to get away with it. So for most people, and that's the casual fans, and not just a casual fan, but fans that just go there and want to see their team succeed blindly. I'm just gonna say blindly succeed. Like every time, we got to go get this player so we could be the best that we can be, and don't understand. Like, first of all, you have a salary cap, so you can't sign everyone. Can't just go out there and sign all the big name players, and then also you can't. What good is having the skill position if you don't have the protection for your quarterback, right? And the same thing on defense. What's good about having a defensive line that could, let's say the big name cornerbacks and all that, when your defensive line can't get pressure? DB's can only cover for so long. But if you build through those trenches and you have consistent play up front, regardless if it's offensive, defensively, you can eventually get those guys on the outside. You can. I'm telling y'all. Name me the receivers on Tom Brady's Super Bowl years.
You mean
any of them? Any of them? Just start naming the receivers. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl.
But he won.
Yes.
Okay. Did Walker got one, right? Walker.
Nope.
Yeah. West didn't get one with the Patriots?
I don't think he. I think Wes Walker don't have a. Nope, he don't.
Oh, okay. So.
And he didn't get one over there in Denver, huh?
Branch.
Yeah, Branch was one.
Do we not counting Gronk?
Gronk is a tight end. See, that was gonna be my second part. They do get a like.
Well, we know Edelman has
there you go.
Mr. 28 and 3 himself.
Right. David Patton. Let me help you out. David Patton. Okay. Troy Brown.
Brown was there.
I don't know if Rashay Caldwell got one. David Givens.
I might have to have some Patriots fans.
Like David Givens. Like I'm naming you the receivers.
I'm gonna have to what's the name?
Like I'm telling you.
Patriots connect.
Like Branches, Givens, Troy Brown, David Patton.
Amendola get one?
Amendola probably has one. I think he was. Yeah, Amendola. These are not household names.
The Gunnar Olis, whatever scheme, technically he would have been a receiver, but he was return specialist.
Kelvin say Chris Hawkins.
Crazy.
Yeah, like I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh wow, 7-Eleven. Okay, I'm like,
what are we doing? Like I'm telling you, like they were built. They were built right through the trenches. So yes, I think we should invest in these trenches. Like, and same, you could do the same thing for Kansas City. Name me his receivers.
That
when they were winning them championship, right? Now
Juju has one. Tyreek.
Juju got one. Tyreek is the one big name that you could give me. That's one of the big names right there.
Yeah, that was it. I think Rasheed has one. Can we count Pacheco? We're talking about lining up. Pacheco caught the ball. Kareem Hunt was catching the ball.
Like, yeah, you can say his name.
You can
say his name.
Ball.
Call his name. I'm say his name. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Let's see.
Tony. Kadarius Tony.
Tony did get one.
Yes, you
Huh?
remember when he did when Andy Reid drew up that nice
Yeah, the
inside out? Yeah,
platform.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was. Ooh,
All
Jesus.
I'm saying, basically, for the most part, a lot of these teams that we consider dynasties. I'm not just throwing out any teams that has won a Super Bowl, one here, there. Things. I'm talking about dynasties. Where the big name glamorous receivers at? They aren't there, right?
Cooper
They
Cup.
they Cooper Cup for who? I said dynasties. I'm not saying that's why I said not just getting there.
Dynasties.
Dynasty teams that won on a consistent basis. The last two
How
dynasties
many
was
dynasties are there? Like,
it
how
was
many real
Patriots and
dynasties
then
would
and,
you
and then
say?
Kansas City. I'm just going. It was Patriots, and then when the Patriots went down, Kansas City formed them a dynasty, right? And now, but look at those teams. How those teams are built. They got a quarterback built through the trenches, defense. Common denominators. What are their running backs? The same common themes. What are their running backs? These running backs they win it with.
I respect the Pop. Pop
Yeah,
was
I'm
that high
like
before that.
Damian Williams. Damian Williams. I'm just Isaiah Pacheco to the real.
Hold up, we're not disrespecting Pop.
Kareem Hunt.
Putting on before that knee injury. Before that lower leg injury.
He was known
Pop,
for nothing. I don't even think he got
Pop
1,000 yard receiver.
physicality. Like,
Do he have 1,000 yard rushing
what?
season? Do he have 1,000 yard rushing season?
No, he was sharing the backfield.
Okay, cool, bet. That's all I'm saying. Look at the way these teams.
But hold up, that Super Bowl that they won got turned around when they put him in. I'm just saying. And they started getting physical, and he just started.
Ain't had nothing to do with nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes.
Had nothing to do with him. All right, go.
No,
watch the second half of that game.
I said it had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes.
The second half, the ball was in Pop's hands. But go ahead.
It had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. Right?
Huh?
Right, it had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes.
See, that's the thing. Why is that when I say one thing, you try to make it say that I'm saying something else? I never said that.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, shout out to Cat in the Hat. I'm just saying, you look at these teams that's built to win consistently, year in and year out, they don't go for the glitz and the glam. They don't. They build through the trenches. Now they get that guy at quarterback. You have to get that guy at quarterback. Go name him. Name them. I could tell you the team that took down the dynasties for the most part. You get what I'm saying? When Eli Manning them beat them, damn, Mario Manningham and all them at receiver. Like, what we doing? I'm just saying, David Tyree. Like, come on. You know what they had?
Wasn't Plexico on that team?
Plexico was on one. I'm on Plexico Barry. Like,
Plexico was on it.
Like, come on now. He's borderline right there. One of the ones. Like, but let's be real. He ain't no Tyreek. No Randy Moss. Calvin Johnson. You know, to that level, like Jamar Chase and all them boys. He's not.
But when we say Anquan Bolden is one of those guys? No.
Yeah, but they didn't win no Super Bowl. He don't have a Super Bowl.
He was being the Patriots.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
who got it with the Ravens?
I don't think Anquan Bolden was on that team with the Ravens. If he was, I don't think because
he might have been right after.
He was a little older.
I was young. It's a blur.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, that's all I'm saying. Like, Larry Fitzgerald was one of the ones. He went to a Super Bowl. They lost. That's all. All I'm saying now. This basically what I'm saying. Teams that win, they understand that you build through the trenches. That's all I'm saying. So for the fans that just look at the glitz and the glam, and we need the big name receiver and that big name cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You want to know one consistent thing too with a lot of these dynasties. They do have a dynamic tight end though, part of the trenches.
Can I ask you a question? Yes. Like, you're from Miami. You're from the crib, not the crib, the crib, right? Is that? And you say trenches, right? Don't go and get the glitzy, glammy name, right?
No, I didn't say don't go get them.
Don't build through it. Is what you're saying. Don't make that
build through the trenches first.
Building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Prioritize trenches. You can go get
trenches.
you can go get them once you build the team correctly because you're going to funnel them.
Mm-hmm.
The team. If you look at them, they usually funnel in and out the skill position players.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get the D line and the offensive line, you try to keep all those guys together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to be your consistent. That's going to hold your team together to when everything you have that turnover, and we don't say rebuild but retool. It's usually and typically the skill set, the skill positions. But you want to keep the trenches intact. That's what you want to do. So these are the things that I'm saying.
Okay. So I guess we will see if the Miami Dolphins need to attack the trenches again in the 2027 draft, or potentially go out and get a certain wide receiver that I will not name. You ready?
I can't wait till we don't get him. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I don't think we should go and get him either, but I'm just saying for the sake of the conversation, and I know a lot of people are going to be on that train going into the next offseason. But at 11 and
6,
he won't even be there for us. Anyway, so the Miami Dolphins finally announced their new promotions within the front office. Tony, do you want me to read them all off, or do you just want to get to the one that?
I mean, you can read them off. You can read them off if you want. Just let's educate the our subscribers and our listeners right now. We got 30 of y'all in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe. Hey, hit the subscribe. Hold on. I went back and checked. Now, last episode we asked y'all to get us them extra 2 subscribers. We got them, and then I come back today and we lost one. What happened?
It's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But listen, man, hit that subscribe button. Get us to the 900. We're 50 away. So make sure 51 away now. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Help the channel grow. Shout out to y'all, anyways.
Okay, so these are the promotions and the additions. These are players, the people that are going to deal with like personnel things. So Kyle Smith is now the assistant general manager.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Winston is director of player personnel. Sean Herrick, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering any of your names. It is what it is senior personnel executive. John Robinson is senior personnel executive. Josh Scobie, assistant director of player personnel. Vinzel Bulware is the director of pro scouting. Grant Wallace, director of college scouting. Owen Hartman is a college scout. Dylan Mabin is a college scout. And Jack Schneider will be our pro scout. Now, for football operations and player performance, we have at the bottom we have Ike Brown, assistant strength and conditioning coach. Willie Jones is the assistant director of strength and conditioning coach. Sorry, not coach, but assistant director of strength and conditioning.
Yeah, we get him.
Todd Hunt is the director of strength and conditioning. Above that, we have vice president, sports medicine and performance. The head athletic trainer is Kyle Johnston. Now, Max Napolitano. Okay, got an Italian. Hi, I see y'all, Miami. He's the vice president of football administration and strategy. And as some of us have been aware, we have a new executive vice president of football operations. Tony,
come on, you know who he is. Say my dog name out here.
I was gonna give you the chance to
stop
say his
playing
name.
With Brandon Short, man.
That's your guy. I was trying to give you that's your guy. So, how do you feel about the new promotions and the additions, and there being some guys brought in and some guys just promoted within? How do you feel about that structure?
See, one thing I want to point out, because we was talking about this earlier on the space as far as the front office is concerned, and I was saying the difference of it is, I would like for you to point out when it came to the personnel, right? You have 6 new members in there.
Yes,
6. So out of the 10 people that are in that position, 6 of them are new. So and the 4 that stayed are all what the scout in the scouting department, but the head scout dude is a new with Vinzel Bulware. You see what I'm saying? And that's just I want to point that out. And then then also in the football operation and player performance side of it, you have out of the 6 guys that's there, 3 of them are new, and those are the strength and conditioning guys that are new. So what it seemed to me is the department that we was having problems in is where they made the changes.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's just we didn't mind you, we did not mention, which is obviously, we did not mention nothing about brand new GM, brand new head coach. You get what I'm saying? We didn't mention that. Obviously, GM is in the front office. So to everyone that was in the spaces where we was talking, that is a complete overhaul, basically.
Yeah.
Complete overhaul. And that's the difference between this regime and the previous ones, which the previous ones they would promote from within. Like keeping the same issues on, inside the building, and just trying, like, he was part of the regime that was messing up. Why are they still there when it comes to the key positions? Now, I would like to point out, my dog, uh, I put the new collective in there, add my dog Brandon Sure in there. But I would like to point out the fact that Brandon Sure got his promotion, right? And it's like executive vice president of football operations. So that, you remember last season when, me and most specifically me and Lou, right? We will always get into it, and what Lou will always say, Cindy, oh, we got non-football guys in there making football decisions. And my rebuttal was, how do you know they're not football guys? You remember that was my rebuttal? I'm like, you're saying that basically because he's a capologist. That don't mean that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He just doesn't have that position. Now, if all of the reports that was coming out are true, if they would have listened to Brendan Shure from the get-go, we wouldn't have been in this mess. As far as historically, with the most dead cap in history in the NFL, we wouldn't have been in this mess. Sound like a football guy to me when it comes to understanding contracts and salary caps and things of that nature, right? When it comes to football guys, let's not just automatically think, oh, he has to be out there and he have to know X's and O's and how to call plays. No, football guys is understanding the inner workings of the business side of football as well, right? We already had this conversation with the previous GM. Go do your research. How many of these GMs all have football experience as far as players? What we found, 2?
It's not that many.
3 at the max. But all of the ones that are the top of the line, they typically don't have background in playing football, but they do understand the inner workings of a football operation and how to run a franchise. Just stay in your lane. I don't need you telling my coach how to drop a play. But I could tell you how to construct a contract. I could tell you how to foresee the like, let's say if they start to get injury or the age and things of that nature, say, hey, we have to be proactive with this and understand that we may lose him or his injuries are starting to pile up. Yeah, the talent is there, but what good is your talent if you're not available for me? You can look at some of those things or saying, hey, this guy might just price himself out of the market. We need to try to figure out how much we can get for him instead of losing him for nothing, which has been a lot of the problems that we've been having. And when it comes to paying guys and giving people, these contracts, hey, we need to have certain outs to where it don't hurt us in the future if things doesn't pan out. And that's the part that I was trying to tell everyone that have this debate with me, right? GM and football, like front office, your job, it doesn't stop just because you bring someone in or, hey, man, he want to get paid. Okay, let's figure out the numbers in the contract. No, you also have to forecast and you have to be able to predict, like, hey, what if things don't go right? One thing I can say, no matter what franchise you're in, no matter how good you are at your position, you're going to miss. You're not going to get every decision correctly. You're not going to sign this person and he's going to pan out. For the most part, you might miss more than you hit. Or it might be, just slightly above average when it comes to hit and miss. The difference is the ones that miss, they know how to move off them and not hurt their team. That's one of the part of the being in the front office that people just underappreciate or devalue. They don't understand. That underestimate is the word I'm looking for. They underestimate that portion of it. Because, hey, We mentioned a lot of the time Howie Roseman, how he missed on certain things, but guess what? He got off the contracts and it was good. Look at Reddick, Lewis Reddick. I mean, not Lewis Reddick. To do Hassan Reddick moved off of him. No one's talking about that. Moving over to the Jets, on with it. Brought in Jalen Phillips. You see how you keep on bringing them in and out. Jalen Phillips not there, but guess what? On to it. Are you consider those hits or miss? But you don't hear no one saying, "Oh, Howie Roseman don't know what he's doing because he paid Hassan Reddick and then he brought in Jalen Phillips and it didn't pan out." No, because as a GM and a good GM that understands what he's doing, he understands I might not hit on every pick. I might not hit on every offseason acquisition. I might not hit on free agents. But what I need to do is continuously evaluate my team and continue to bring in talent and get the talent out the building to where I could always have a competitive team on the field. Combine my misses with the hits and then just compound the hits. Okay, I missed on them, those two, but I hit on this one. Boom. Keep him in building. You get what I'm saying? And then eventually you get a team that doesn't stay down for too long.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that we need to be looking for when it comes to how we evaluate this front office. And the fact that we have guys that are in key positions, scouting, the head of scouts, right? And then player operations that are new guys that, seem to understand, at least, from, we don't know yet, but at least they understand, okay, we need to change in these positions. Vicinity, assistant general manager. That's a brand new position. Our GM is a brand new position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Director of player personnel, brand new guy.
Mm-hmm.
Senior personnel executive, brand new guy. Two senior personnel executive, brand new guy. And then the assistant director of personnel, a brand new guy. The head guy, director of pro scouting, a brand new guy. All of these are positions in areas where we was failing at.
Yeah.
They say, no, we got to change this out. Get these people out the building. And bring in some new faces that maybe could get this shit rolling the right way. I think those are the things that we didn't have last time. We're promoting from within.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy how now we were saying, oh, it's 26 years of the same thing. What is, I say, what's one key to those 26 years? We always promoted from within.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's by the GM or whether it's by the head coach, we always promoted from within. Finally said, man, get all these people out the building. No. Right? The only one that's the holdover that's in a key position is one that they promoted with Brendan Shore. And if the reports are correct, right, that we was hearing coming out of all coming out of the building, he was the one that was like, I'm gonna get telling people, what we doing? We're not sending these people. You're paying people for what?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna handcuff us to where it has to work because we don't have no outs.
Yeah.
It's only so much you can do when you just try to sign everyone to keep everyone happy. What about holding people accountable and say, hold on, you have to earn this. Okay, you gave me 1,700 yards, but what have that got the team? I'm sorry, I would have been like, because you talk about every time you point out the good you did, you gave me 1,700 yards. But you know what? I watched this game right here, AFC Championship game. I mean, with the AFC East title on the line. I watch you on two key drives, drop two key first down, one on with a possible touchdown. And you talk about, I need to give you a raise. You already top 5 receiver. Getting a raise with me, you need to exceed and give me something to say, well, I need to pay him because you come through in the clutch. Oh, you remember that Baltimore Ravens game when the number 1 seed was on the line? Tyreek Hill, you dropped the touchdown when no one was around you.
Oh, that was the year of Tyreek dropping touchdowns.
Why am I paying you? You don't remember that? Oh, you remember in that same season?
Because he was holding serve. It was going back and forth. They score, we score. They score, we.
The first two, the first 4 drives, our first two, their first two was going back and forth. It turned with that fumble Raheem Mo, so we understand that. But whatever, it is what it is. But yes, we're going back and forth.
momentum
but
killer.
it was 10-14 instead of 14-14.
Yep.
Right? Then you add in the turnover. Then you add it to a throw, and it could get out of hand quickly.
Yeah.
But I remember that. Now in that same season where you wanted to get paid, right? Remember we was in Germany? It was a certain wide receiver got that football snatched out his hand, which served to be the game-winning touchdown.
Four
Wasn't that
process
Tyreek
to
Hill?
stop it. Yeah, you still got to hold on to the ball.
That was Tyreek Hill. Hey, Tyreek, I'm seeing a trend, my brother. In all these big games, you don't seem to be showing. You don't seem to be earning that money. And now you're going to ask me for a raise? Nah, my good brother. Nah, I don't think. No, you got to earn that money. I'm just not paying. I'm not out here writing free checks.
Yeah.
We got to hold them to a certain. You know how you want to get paid more? Then we hold you to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just expecting you to just lead the league in receiving. I'm expecting you to carry this team now. Put this team on your back. Make plays for this team that, if it wasn't for him, we could have possibly lost this game.
Yeah. That's tough. It's tough time.
You understand? So things like that is what I'll be, pointing out. You remember that game that we needed a game-winning field goal to win to clinch a playoff berth? Tyreek Hill, I got you dropping a clear touchdown against Dallas at home at night on a Monday night game. What, Monday or Sunday night game? I got you doing that. We had to go to Jalen Waddle the very next play on the same type of play, and he caught the ball to save you from us, being backed up in our end zone.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't get paid for that, my brother. And I feel like these are the positions that we flopped out to where we should see a change. And so far, so good. No, it's only one contract, so we can't overuse it and say, hey, man, look what he did with Achan. Okay, cool. Now let's see what he do with Brooks. Let's see how he construct Aaron Brewer to see if they keep that same mindset and understand, hey, these are hard. These contracts has to be, negotiated and structured going forward. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
How you feel about I have a lot to say about this part because I had, what I'm saying, but how you feel about it though? If them and the guy that they brought in, things of that nature.
I like that all by the time you get to a decision maker.
Mm-hmm.
It's someone that hasn't been making the bad decisions beforehand. It's really new minds, new mentality, and there's no like personal relationships yet established with these guys. So like I know you guys are talking about potential leverages and emotional and feelings and stuff like that. It's out the window. You have guys that I really do believe are going to do what's in the best interest so far of the Miami Dolphins, no matter how hard or tough a decision it is. When you talk about, good GMs, the hits have to be more impactful than the misses and more memorable than the misses. Because you are going to miss, right? It's a part of the nature. If everyone hit every single time, we wouldn't have GM changes and everybody would be a Super Bowl contender every year, right? It is what it is. The teams that get out of those funks and slumps make the necessary changes, even sometimes ones that they don't think are, beneficial at the time for the team. But then when you look at it later on, you're like, oh yeah. I.e. example, Miami Dolphins, right? We had a cornerback, top name, who was not living up to his billing, but got paid again. But then when he left, he had everything. I said, I had everything bad to say about the Dolphins. But when he's here, it was, and he was getting his money. It was all sunshine and rainbows, right? Now, when you go to another franchise, guy helped them win a Super Bowl. Was on it. Was considered one of the best cornerbacks in the league. They even traded for the guy, gave him money. But when they realized he wasn't playing up to par, they went out and got a Quinyon Mitchell to replace him with and did not miss a beat. So what was a hit, then technically a miss, they didn't settle in on that and say, oh, we expect this guy because of his name to fix it and get it together. They faced reality that the decline had happened and they needed to get up off the guy. And it is what it is. And they were better for it because they got Quinyon, they got
Cooper DeJean.
Blankenship. I think the ship isn't there anymore. They got Cooper DeJean, and they fixed what needed to be fixed. Teams address those issues, right? The Rams understood they could not guard JSN to save their life. So they went and got the services, and we'll see how it plays out, of the best cornerback in the league, because they you like, you know what? If we gonna win and we gotta get out this division and we wanna play in LA and not up in Seattle potentially, we gotta go address these positions. Now, also, when you are a GM and you have a fan base, winning helps, right? Because for what it's worth, right? Even the Eagles, right? When it looked like it was not going to be right with Jalen and his throwing, they they settled in, got a coach that could help him, got offensive coordinators that could utilize his skills, and they also went out and got him weapons and said, you know what, let's see what we really have in this, because we see Flair, we see the dual threat, we know he can run the ball, but if we can maybe get him some guys like Devontae Smith and pair that with the AJ Brown, and they're also always known for having a good tight end, that shows up in key moments and makes a play. Like, it is what it is. And then, hey, Jalen, you didn't get it done, but you were sure enough the MVP. Let's help him out some more. Let's go out and get probably the best running back at the time. And it is what it is. Good franchises know when to strike. The Miami Dolphins tried to strike, but it wasn't the right time. They didn't have everything in place to make a strike. So when they did bring those players in, it was all for naught. And it is what it is, and it sucks. But it just shows that how certain GMs and how some teams understand the right way to build it. Trenches, you need the guy underneath center. And then all things fair, you go out and then you put that extreme talent when you can around it to compete. And it's very interesting that the Rams and the Eagles have kind of been going back and forth with the NFC with trying to go acquire weapons when they have a good base foundation and say, let's try to get it now and go win on that. But that's all I have to say. I'm just glad that the decision makers are all different. And, by the time you get to it, everything that was here is still low on the totem pole. The guys that are making decisions are all new. So I'm happy about that. And we ball and we move on, and we're on to 2027.
Yeah, and I hope you know, given that he's been in Green Bay, both these guys been in Green Bay, and understand that these franchises don't tend to hold on to players too long. They don't. They just continue to bring them in and move them out. Bring them in, revamp them. It's always, every time. The Chiefs are doing it right now again. Again, guess what they doing? They revamping that roster. You forgot they need a cornerback. They wanted a Jerry Sneed, drafted Trent McDuffie, and people like that. They got the Washington kid, I think, too. But right, guess what? Now all of them are out the building now. They gone. They bringing more people in again. Revamp, because this is what team that stay up top on top doing. They like, hey, we got to continue to revamp this team. I can't pay you. You get what I'm saying? I'll draft. You got to hit on their draft, but guess what? They went off for Trent McDuffie. Guess what? Income who?
Is it? No, it's not Avion. Who did they get?
Master Delane.
Delane.
Drafted him. Traded up to go get him. Hold on. Important. We need to, you know what I'm saying? Go replace this guy. Let's go get a rookie. So now you got potentially 5 seasons of this guy. That helps you out because he's on a rookie contract, and keep the people that's safe. They redoing their, they paid a couple guys on their offensive line, and then they redoing it. Got rid of that problem at you see they deal with that right tackle, Jerron Taylor. He always jumping outside. They moved him out of there, bringing someone else in. Like, these are the type of things that these teams do. They're constantly revamping their roster because it's an everlasting thing. You never stop building. You never stop evaluating. These are the things that we have to consider when it comes to, okay, how good or how bad have our GM been when it comes to, after constructing a roster, retooling it, tweaking it, fine tuning it, things of that nature. How good are they at that? when we got rid of why did Robert Hunt, uh um Christian Wilkins, Brandon Jones, who else did we lose? Uh Losing in free agents and just letting them walk with Andrew Van Ginkel, right? Why players like these players that we should get out ahead of? Why are we always losing our guys for nothing, no compensation or anything? That's a problem. Holding on to guys for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Why the heck do we keep Liam Eichenberg that long? He's been failing since he got here.
You
You
know what?
understand?
You know what? And I think the mentality, because I can't speak to the mentality, but maybe I can try to. Um, Maybe, and it's sad to say this because for them to even think this would be kind of crazy. Maybe they thought that those players, they evaluated them wrong. They didn't see the value that they were bringing here, or maybe they didn't feel like they were worth that. But when you go out and you see some of these guys really playing well on other teams, you're like, oh, they kind of did that here or whatever. Maybe they just didn't know how to truly evaluate talent. Maybe they were just so incompetent because there were so many voices in the room, so many people speaking, that they
That
couldn't
could
get
be.
on one clear vision of what this team really was saying. Because you could have two guys advocating for a guy saying no, 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 we like it, but when you have three saying no, it's like you're trying to weigh the scales. You're trying, like, it was too, the room was too crowded. And what I like about Sully is he says, I'm making the decisions. So you know the voice behind how this team is getting built. When you talk about the collective and it's like all this negotiating and everybody has so many opinions, sometimes too many opinions are bad. I listen, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But when you don't have a direction, we were very directionless. Let's say it like that. And I believe that. We had no direction. Everyone had a way to get it done, but no one knew how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone had like a plan, but there was not one single plan. Everyone was bringing their own personal plans instead of getting to one singular plan that they could execute. And because everyone was trying to do it their own way or saying, oh no, that's what me, or like, what's the name? And then it's like casting stones at each other. It just seemed so messy. Like it was just beyond messy. And I think that's where you
Not on the same
lose.
page.
That's where you lose sight on the players that need to stay here versus who don't. And that's when it's like, okay, because you're not developing them at the rate that they should be developing, or you're not thinking that they're developing at the rate because you're so enamored with other shiny things that are out there that you brought in. You're like, oh yeah, we can just always substitute that. Or yeah, they're like, no, no. To their credit, they have brought in trench guys. They're trying to build this thing the right way. And it is not about like just getting something that's going to get the fan base all up in a frenzy and stuff like that. They understand it doesn't come in one off season. You, like, to their point, you have to have core guys that you're going to build around. And you do need to take a clear approach, a clear and directed approach to the trenches. Something that we cried for and lamented about for years, but they kept giving us all these new shiny toys. It's no different than basically saying we know what we should do, we know where the problems are, but they kept avoiding them and just bringing in a name. They just kept bringing in a name, and it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's it sucks because we had to suffer for it. But to our point about this conversation, this new regime has tried to come in and clean up as much of it as humanly possible. It's like a bad knee. When you go in and you start cleaning it up, you might have to get a whole knee replacement. It is what it is, but it's better than what the knee that we got right now. I mean, we got it right now. We got a knee replacement. We're gonna see how it works out. Cool. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
yeah. And that's the only thing you can hope for. At least show me you know what you're doing and understand. I think our biggest problem was holding on to players too long.
Mm-hmm.
Even I can't. I'm not gonna say coaches too long because this fan base is like, oh, I'm tired of this 3-4 years every coach every time you come in, and
Mm-hmm.
you get rid of change the coach every 3 to 4 years. We have to have some stability and build something. Consistency. But listen, I don't want no one building a consistent loser either.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just because we want, oh, let's be consistent. Let's keep this. We can't get rid of them every 3 to 4 years. Yeah, but if they're not showing improving, then I'm just not keeping around just to say, oh, we didn't get rid of this guy in 4 years. Hold
Mm-hmm.
on. You know what I'm saying? Was it warranted? That's all you have to ask. When they fire somebody, okay, was that warranted? Because outside of me, and this is on my personal opinion, outside of Brian Flores, I think every fire was warranted. Every single one. Even some of the people that may be on the fence with, Mike McDaniel. But you're gonna tell me we should have kept um Joe Philbin? No. You're gonna tell me we should have kept Adam Gates?
Mm-mm.
No, come on, bro. I mean, I love Tony Sperano, but he had that one good season.
Shout out to Tony.
You thought we supposed to kept him? No. And then Mike McDaniel, like I say, I'm gonna say this because there was a big issue with Tua and what Mike McDaniels and the leverage that he may or may not have, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
believe Mike McDaniel deserved to get fired. This is just me. And you understand? Ever since we gave that contract to our quarterback, we won 8 games and then 7 games respectfully. Just think about that. After you paying the guy the most in history, we went 8-9 and then 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a regression. And that's coming from a coach that started the year with 2 playoff berths, a 9-8 and 11-6. So you follow up 9-8, 11-6 with 8-9, 7-10. Seemed like a trend to me. It was pointing downward. So yes, even great play caller. Okay, cool. Great offensive mind. Okay, cool. What about being a head coach?
Mm-hmm.
What about paying all of these players when you don't need to?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What about holding on to players instead of getting capital for the team when the season was over with? Y'all forgot about the Calais Campbell? Went over Chris Greer head? No. Chris Greer tried. He had a deal in place. Oh, no, Mike McDaniel. Oh, I think I could win with these. What?
Yeah.
Bro, our chances to make the playoffs were slim to none. You have to be able to make the tough decisions. He wasn't able to. So I believe he deserved to get fired for all the ones that was, some people, some people just felt like, maybe Mike McDaniel should have got another opportunity. Me personally, I'm like, no, especially once you got rid of the GM. Y'all think he got to go too, but we're not going to act like, hey, man, he done such a great job. Yeah, he started off hot. But then he had 2 bad seasons after that. Mm-hmm. And if you point out the other coaches, because a lot of people like to say Kyle Shanahan started, he had some trouble. Man, the man went to an AFC championship. As a matter of fact, he went to a Super Bowl. NFC championship. He went to a Super Bowl. Within them 4, he started off terrible, first 2, but that third season, Super Bowl. So, yeah, he had a down, I think 1 or 2 down seasons after that, but he earned grace because he showed the willingness and ability to get you to the big game. But it wasn't start off hot and then cool down. It wasn't that situation. So, no, these are the type of things and the decisions that we have to be able to make and how you evaluate them. So, at the end of the day, it starts with and I said this earlier in the spaces as well. Yo, it starts at the top as too. Hey, Stephen Ross, you held on to Chris Greer way too long. You held on to the people inside the building way too long. It took you too many years to finally clean house. Too many years. So now, Stephen Ross, you hold on to Chris Greer way too long. Guess what Chris Greer did to his players? Held on to them way too long. Refusing to accept, okay, that was a mistake, or I failed at that. Move on. That's part of being a great leader. Okay, that was a mistake. Now I have to change that out, because now what you're doing, you're hurting the team. You're hurting the team by refusing to accept that you failed at something. Mm-hmm. You know what? I was wrong. Let's move forward. That's why I pointed out, Howie Roseman. Okay, he messed up. Moved off him immediately. Go to the Chiefs. The Chiefs did the same thing. A lot of the teams that go in, Alex Smith had 2 stops. San Francisco, y'all forgot. Alex Smith won. Alex Smith went to an NFC championship game. Y'all do know that, right? Alex Smith had won 2 or I think 3 division titles at San Francisco. Y'all do know that, right? They still move off of him and went and got Colin Kaepernick, who eventually got them to a Super Bowl. Still move off of Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Garoppolo got them to a Super Bowl. Still move off of Jimmy Garoppolo. Got to Brock Purdy, got them to a Super Bowl. You see the trend there? Kansas City did the same thing with Alex Smith. Alex Smith had 3. He had 2. He won 2 division titles in Kansas City. 3 playoff appearances. They moved off of him and got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
These are the decisions. These are not easy decisions. Think about what I'm saying. These are not easy decisions. But the GM will still make. I got to make that. I gotta make that change. You understand me? I have to. And these are the type of things that you have. You could go to Philly. Philly did the same thing. Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid. Listen, man, y'all got what was it? 5 NFC Championship appearance in a row? 1 Super Bowl appearance? They still moved off of both of them. It's constantly evaluating, going to the next level. And eventually got that Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Nick Folk, okay, you got us. Carson Wentz, you were good for. Still went. All right, Jalen Ramsey, we got our Super Bowl with Nick Folk. Okay, we're not holding on to for no. I see the decline. Okay, extra strategy, get him up out of here. In come Jalen Hurts. Got that Super Bowl. Look like they're going to start working on that extra strategy. Y'all better pay attention. Not holding on for 2 people for too long. Green Bay Packers, they got a Super Bowl out of every starting quarterback they had so far. Let's see if let's see if Jordan Love give them one. Move on for them. They always had their quarterback in the waiting in the weeds. I'm just saying it's a constant trend that I'm showing you about teams that tend to be always on top. They don't hesitate to move off of people. It don't have to initially be a mistake, but once you see the decline, okay, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And these are the things that I want to talk about. I mean, that I wanted to point out. We have to continue. We have to remember that type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah. But it's just just want to add my 2 cents in right then. And we can move to
5.
5 cents. 5.
That was like 5 cents, but I appreciate it.
5 cents for sure. 5
cents. Got a nick out of it. We got a nick.
Okay. Quarter,
so earlier in the off season, our head coach said that the Dolphins were going to get Malik weapons. I believe it was Hafley that said they were going to get Malik weapons.
Hafley said that, yeah.
So there has been a discussion, ladies and gentlemen, about why the Miami Dolphins offensive side of the ball is struggling currently. And if I'm correct, some believe that it's because Malik doesn't have weapons, and some believe that it's just Malik himself. So while someone just preached that you didn't need big names, I'm interested to see where he goes with this conversation. Tone, you got the floor. Listen, I know you just went on a whole but I'm really interested on what side you end up on. I have my notebook.
So
Please.
listen,
Mm-hmm.
um, now everyone know I'm the main one that was saying we have to expect that the offense is going to take time to, get into groove, right? We know it takes time for them to click,
Yeah.
get the timing down, come together, and start to, understand, become a well-oiled machine, so to speak, right? However, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to give excuses for why they're struggling.
Mm.
I see a lot of people saying the new thing coming out was either they're blaming the lack of, receivers or lack of weapons, or because Achan's not out there,
Mm-hmm.
or they wasn't running the ball none in OTAs. Let me make this perfectly clear. And I
Mm-hmm.
said this last time, and I'm going to keep the same energy. Man, 707s.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Let's chill, bro. Like, we gotta chill with all this. He need weapons. Last I checked, now it's coming out. We gotta trust what they were saying. He was missing on some throws.
Yeah.
They weren't the best of throws. So getting the timing down, it's cool. But it's 7 on 7s. You have way open space.
Space.
No. At some point, we gotta say, okay, he need to start developing the chemistry. And at least for what I'm saying is, at least he had to start making the throws.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they were saying he was missing, come on, we can't make excuses for those. We can't. You don't tell me that they saw the talent and his development, and then all of a sudden we're gonna make excuses for him missing passes. That's ridiculous to me. To me, that come off as disingenuous. Because now I can't believe you if someone have a bad game. Because I'm like, or so, if he do make a good play and it just was a bad, a drop by receiver. Because it seemed like you're making excuses for him already. We're not in the business. Let me see. You know what? Let me not say we. I'm not in the business of making excuses for people. I'm not. First of all, they went, and I, like my brother will always say, they didn't wait for a second to move off the clock before they went and got him. You saw him, and for all these people, and call one of my Omar Kelly. Oh, all of a sudden now you heard that Malik is this guy that he's more of a game player, not a practice player. I don't know. Did you hear that part, Vicinity? That Omar Kelly said, oh, Malik he's a guy that shows up in games. He's not really a big practice performer. Right. And he gave the example of Cam Wake was like this. Cam Wake wasn't the biggest practice. Like he wasn't this good in practice, but when the game time came, he was all in. Okay, cool. That's fine. You have players like that.
Different positions.
Forget the positions, Vicinity. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if my memory served me correctly,
they talked about him in practice.
Wasn't the main reason they went and got him is because how they saw how he was performing in practice? Yep. Now all of a sudden we're going to say he's not a practice guy? Come on, miss me with these excuses, bro. Now he's not a practice guy. Listen, I don't want to call you out, but...
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit!
Miss me with that.
Who was that for? I'm just...
For Omar, talk about he's a practice guy.
I don't want people to think of me.
No, of course not. No. About him not being a practice guy, he may be just a game performer. No, you don't. He got small sample size. Like let's not do this. Like, come on now. Let's not make excuses. We're not going to. We killed the previous regime for calling a said quarterback. We not bringing. Bro, we not finna give him no pass. No, we not. Listen, Malik, they brought you in. You're struggling. Cool. Take it on it. Now, it's not him. So I'm not going to kill Malik for this. But don't come out here and try to say, oh, maybe he's just not a practice person. He needs to be. That's why they said they brought him in. And practice make perfect. Matter of fact, perfect practice make perfect. So you going to tell me, and I've been saying this for every other player, the team, for the mentality aspect of it, from the execution aspect of it. I'm like, Wait. You think I'm supposed to see them failing in practice and not doing what they're supposed to do in practice, getting pumped in practice, right? Remember this? The Detroit game, the Detroit practice got dominated. Who's the other team that came in, did the same thing to us, dominated us, said they was getting punked to where we were fighting our own selves? Jordan Brooks had to get into it with Tyrell Dawson because he's like, hold on, you touching people and they tackling our players. And then, so you gonna tell me that they were in practice getting punked, but then all of a sudden when the game time comes, they're gonna be tough guys? No, they don't work like that. That's why they were getting punked in the regular season. So don't tell me that, oh, all of a sudden, you know, he's struggling in practice, but he's going to turn it up in the game time. How? Based on what? Give me examples of this. Show me how you came to this conclusion. Any examples? We don't have one. So that's BS. No. Hold that man accountable. They paid him, didn't they?
Yeah, they paid him.
And considering the cap situation he was in, that means they believed in him, because making that investment on a team that was strapped for cap and that just got rid of clean house, everyone would have gave them a pass if they would have never went out and got him. They would have. Let's just be 100. They would have gave them a pass, but they decided that this was their guy. Okay, so we're going to judge him based off that. I'm not going to be the type of person to say, hey, listen, I'm judging, switch to basketball. I'm judging Tyler Hero because they wanted him to be the sixth man, but he wanted to be the guy. So I'm going to judge you based off you being the guy. And then turn around and try to give Malik Willis a pass because he's been struggling in training camp. No, let them say, hey, he's been struggling and he needs to get it together. No. We need you to tighten up, my brother. I get it. You're going to struggle. We respected that. That don't mean we're not going to criticize you for the struggles. We're going to say, hey, you missed that throw. We need you to make that throw. Hey, this is 707. You should be able to you should be able to complete more passes than you are right now. Are you crazy right now? You mean to tell me I'm supposed to believe and be confident that, okay, he's missing throws that on 7-on-7, but when 11-on-11 comes and when they throw on the pad, it'll be different. That's what I'm supposed to believe? Make that make sense for me.
It doesn't. So I just have one question, because I feel like you hit a lot of points. Like it was really amazing. I wrote down some notes. Do you have your ice ready? No. Do you have the ice ready?
Oh, you talk? No,
it's under 4.5, Tony. This is what I was talking about.
No.
I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, someone said, and it was a couple of shows. It's when we reviewed, and I told you, yeah, you had great, amazing reasons on why we could win these games based off of history. But I think I said that we don't know what this team looks like. And now that we're getting glimpses into it, it was a lot of optimism. I was hearing a lot of optimism, a lot of leadership qualities, and he can be all that. Two things can be true. He can be one of the most amazing leaders. But can he go out there and get the job done? Can he go out there and get the job done? And that's what really matters and counts. And while I love his leadership and what he has brought to this organization so far, even I still did not believe that it was going to result in over 4.5 wins, let alone help me with 11. Like, woo! Listen, I know there's a reach God out there. If you know, you know. But you might be claiming that, taking that from Dot in a little bit.
Dot, yeah.
Yeah, I might be taking that from Dot in a little bit. But Tony, 7-on-7. That's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's just placing the ball in the right spot. That's just like, and you're saying, and I'm sorry, I'm just curious. You're saying he's missing. Now, listen. is he missing because of lack of reps, lack of chemistry? Like,
So the one that he missed on,
mm-hmm.
they were saying, which is it's suspected. They were saying, okay, he's missing out in front, or it may be a little high. But there was one that he just completely missed down the sideline, and they try to tuck it up to chemistry. What? You're doing too much now. But yes, he's missing, and the receivers are dropping some as well.
Yeah, I remember the drops.
Yes, we're
Now
having
we have
drop
drops.
issues too. But yes, he's missing some throws. Yes. He's missing. Matter of fact, he's missing on not majority, a lot of the throws. Because what came out is he hasn't consistently hit targets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, you're gonna hit on some throws. Cool. But what do we preach over? We preach consistency.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say this, and I don't mean to be that person. But some people were a little bit hesitant because they felt like they didn't see enough reps. And then you talk about consistency and it being consistent. Well, yeah, it is what it is. The Miami Dolphins are the trial period for Malik Willis. And I will say this, for where the organization currently is, technically, it's still not a bad move. Because if you are a believer in Malik Willis, right, and you think that after training camp and they get more practices and reps and stuff like that, and you think that is the end all be all, right, he's going to get it together, then cool. If you don't, and you think that this is what it's going to be like, right, guys can improve. It can get better, right? I'm not saying it can't get better. It can get better. Practice does help, right? He is the type of guy that, has gotten the guys together outside of the facility to, to practice, to run reps, right? To get that down. When training camp comes, then I feel like I would be a little bit more panicky, but if not being able to just execute placement on 7-on-7 with the arm talent that people have talked about, you gotta be able to control. You have to be able. I almost said something I don't know if we're allowed to say it on here. You have to be able to control the weapon that you're using, and if your weapon is your arm, you have to be able to what's the name. Now, do I think he has? My next question is: do you think it's because he has a lack of weapons, Tony? Or do you think that the players that we have are good enough to get the job done?
So I've always said, like, that's why I pointed out, Tom Brady won with David Patton and Troy Brown as his starting receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then he had David Givens, Jabbar Gaffney. I don't know if y'all remember. These are his receivers that he was having. So am I putting on the weapons? No. And let me correct something, because you seem to be taking a victory lap. And
I didn't take a single victory
I'm not
lap.
saying
Name the lap I took.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't be struggling. See, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I don't want to hear people making excuses for him struggling and trying to blame it on everything else except for him he's just not in a groove right now. He's missing throws. Now, it's compounded with the receivers dropping footballs. So that's what listen, you got a guy, he misses on some throws, and then on the throws that he do make, you have receivers dropping the pass. Put all that together, do you have an offense that just don't seem to be clicking at all? And you're going to have struggles. So let me put that out there. Just, you know what I'm saying? My issue is not that he's struggling. My issue is that they making excuses for it. As if they trying to make it seem like it is the weapons, or it is because the receivers, he cannot, how you underthrow a guy and say, oh, it's because he don't have the timing down with the receiver. Usually that's on a deep route. And from what Adam was saying, the guy was pretty much wide open.
Put it out there.
Thank you. You can't make excuses for that. At the very least, you throw it directly at him and just say he's struggling. But what I don't want to hear is the excuses for him struggling, or to try to put it on the weapons. Now, do I think it's because of the weapons? I think it's a part of it. I think if you got Caleb Douglas dropping football passes every time you go out there, you know what I'm saying, that don't help. But you know what else I hear, Vicinity? I hear how much how him and Malik Washington are having an amazing connection, but it's because of some of the great catches Malik Washington is making. You know, so that means those aren't perfect passes either. It's just Malik Washington is helping them out. But that still don't change the fact that that wasn't a perfect pass, or let's just say a pass that catchable, pass like that. So both things could be true, but you're not saying. You're trying to ignore the fact that he's still a little bit off, is what I'm saying. And he has to get the timing down. Don't blame the receivers because it's easy to do that, right? We saw the play with Greg Dosich. He made a great play with the touchdown. But then even on the one with one of the passes that they praised Caleb Douglas it was a amazing catch. So if you made an amazing catch, that means the pass wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
Now, I had the same energy for one Troy Aikman when everybody, Troy Aikman is the great quarterback. And okay, he won. But what's Michael Irvin's nickname? Do anyone know what his nickname is? Playmaker. Why is he being called the playmaker? Have y'all watched him play out there? How many times he jumped over cornerbacks? How many times he had to snatch the ball from cornerbacks? How many times he had to go make a play on the ball? If you're doing all that, can we agree and at least assume that means these are coming from passes that aren't in perfect position? Not ideal passes? If you got to go make a play on it. I point these type of things out. I'm like, yo, you can't have a receiver with his nickname is playmaker because he got to go make plays, and then you're going to tell me you're a great quarterback. Now, you're a great winner. I give you that. But a lot of them plays, go look at the Super Bowl. He had to jump over 3 people and caught that ball, but he did it. So at the end of the day, just because I feel like it's cool and it's warranted for them to go and take a flyer on the guy, I told y'all, I don't know what y'all was expecting from me. I'm not making excuses for him, though. In order for to get to those 11 victories that I assume that we can get, he has to do his part. I'm not here to make excuses for him if he's not.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy to me. No, listen, Malik, get it together. Period. Point blank, period. I don't want to hear no excuses. And I'm not going to say right now until we get in training camp and I get to see it with my own 2 eyes, how much of a part the receivers or the weapons are playing into this. How much of a part it is. I'm not going to say, it's because of the weapons, like a lot of these people are saying, because I've heard and saw these same people blame, the weapons and the quote unquote, he could have made a better play on the football. And I'm sitting out there, I'm like, we're not watching the same practice. Or praise, our quarterback for making so many darts and great plays and this and that. But guess what, Vicinity? I'm watching them say, but that would have been a sack. They're not mentioning this part. They're leaving that part out. That offensive line got beat there. That would have been a sack. He held on to the ball for 6 seconds, and you're not going to have that amount of time in the regular season. And also, let's keep in mind, this is why I put a lot of emphasis on, let's see how they play in a joint practice.
Week 1 out the gate.
What quarterbacks have on? Just give me a look at Malik Willis and what do they wear that makes them feel safe? That red jersey.
Oh, the red jersey.
That red jersey. So, of course, it should be easier for you to look good in practice because you know you're not going to get hit. Like, come on. So, yes, I do. I expect him to be at least developing his chemistry and getting further along. And if he isn't, tell it like it is. Hey, Malik, we didn't bring you in here to be struggling like this. We understand it was going to take time. But, bro, with some routine throws, and this is what got me for saying, they were saying a lot of them are routine throws. They no excuse for routine throws.
So
remember when
So like the outs, the comebacks, quick
square ends, you know what I'm saying? Got 9 routes, like these routine throws.
Simple
now, if it's in between tough windows, crazy little zone that confusion. Okay, cool, I understand that. But routine throws on 7-on-7s? Stop, miss me with that. And some of them were 11-11. Okay, cool. But no pass. They not. You comfortable.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I wasn't taking a victory lap. I said it can get better. I said it can get better. Did I not say that? I'm not thinking. I'm
Yeah.
just asking if.
Well, can I ask you? Can I ask you why? I mean, can I explain why I feel like you took a victory lap? Did she
Hold
try to
up.
figure out why?
Pause. 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 You see, once again, you are going to compartmentalize something I did not say.
I
All
said
I
I
did was
felt like
ask a
you.
question. I said, "Do you have
Well,
the ice ready?"
there you go. So you knew I was going. So I know you. See, once I
You
said
just
that,
asked
you were
if
like,
I just
that
asked
is
if
it.
you had their ice ready.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a
Why?
victory
Why would I
lap.
need my ice ready? Can you?
Huh?
Why would I need my ice ready? And you did say I told you under 4.5. You
I
said
told you
that.
under 4.5. I mean, that's a fact.
That's a victory
That's
lap.
a no. That is a
For it to
fact
be a
because
fact,
I
that's it.
did. Because no. I prefaced it and said it can get better.
No, you didn't preface it. No,
I
that
did.
was
I just
afterward.
I said they
That was
can work it out. They can figure it out because he gets the guys together outside
that
of
was after your
practice to do the
victory
reps.
lap, though.
I said I expect to see them after training camp doing more reps, doing more film work, and all these things. I expect to hear these stories come out. That's why I said training camp. I'm not taking a victory lap yet. I said by training. I said training camp. God, you gotta be better,
Got your water. I mean, you
huh?
got your ice ready. You got your ice ready. I
Listen,
told you four. I told you under 4.5.
I didn't say nothing about no water. See, I didn't say
No,
no
I
water.
said
I
ice. I mistakenly said water instead of ice, but you said you got your ice water, and I told you it's
I
under
just said,
four and a half.
I said, did you have
Someone
your ice
told
ready?
you. Like, okay, gotta go ahead, take your little lap. Go
Is
ahead,
it
do your
not going to
thing.
be hot this summer out in Miami? Do you not need ice to keep cool? I'm just
Hey,
asking a
listen,
question.
I don't mind.
I didn't ask about no bucket. I didn't ask about no water. All I just asked was, do you have the ice ready?
But
Was
you
the
did
drinks
say
in the
you want to talk
cooler.
about a cup. You did say you want to talk about the cup.
Sometimes you gotta have
Make
ice in the cooler already ready. To keep the
yeah.
drinks cool.
Boy,
Beach, training
boy.
camp. You got all these things you gotta go to this, summer. You're gonna be outside in the heat, cookouts. I'm just asking you to get the ice ready. I don't want there to be a shortage on ice. You feel me? When the time does come.
That's what we doing.
I just asked a question.
Stop the cap.
Get out of here with that. Hey, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is you took your victory lap. But hey, it is what it is.
I don't take victory laps before the victory
You
is
did.
here.
You did come
I've
back
learned
down
better.
to
I've
earth.
learned from my mistakes. I've learned
You
from my
did.
mistakes.
I like that. You did come back down to earth and said it could get better, which it better for me. It better get better.
What's on earth?
I mean, if you say so, it better get better because at the end of the day, me personally, I'm not here to just, and that's the difference, right? If I say something, but if I see if it might not be going as planned, or I don't think they're doing what they need to do to get the job done, I'm calling it out.
Yeah, you mean like you finally get to see what the team looks like, so you have a better understanding on what the record might be.
No, because
No.
remember I prefaced this by saying, well, all of my takes, and remember that was all things perfect. Everything had to go perfect. But I say, right, that I expect them to struggle. I expect the defense to be ahead. But what I'm not going to do is make excuses. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, oh, no, I don't. Routine throw, make those. You understand? And plus, it's 7-on-7. I don't expect you. Listen, I did not expect them to struggle this much on 7-on-7. I just okay, it's 7-on-7. I want to see when they put on pads and things of that nature.
It'll be fun.
No, but we got to call that out. I'm at least gonna call it out. I know you are. You can't wait to call it out, right? But I'm gonna call it out.
I can't wait. I want the team to be successful.
I didn't say you didn't. I didn't say you did.
The team to. I tell me I can't wait to call it out.
But
that sounds like I'm playing against the team. Listen.
Well, you do have a bet, but for under 4.5.
And do you really think some ice water means more to me than watching this team succeed and win games?
No.
I will do the ice bucket challenge after every win the Dolphins get.
Oh, let's do that for sure.
You
That's
want to
something
do
I
it
can do.
after every loss? Or are you going to do it after every loss?
Let's do that. We could do that.
So after every loss, you going to do it. And after every win, I'm going to do it.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
You down?
I'm down. Of course, I'm down for that.
It's nothing but a G thing to me. Listen,
It get cold up there in New Jersey now.
In a perfect world,
cold
I
up.
would do it. 11 times.
I don't know if I could trust you to go through though. I'm shit. I
We're
don't
gonna be
know.
live. There's a backyard right there. The backyard, so it won't be a looped video.
No, it's not gonna be live.
I just gotta send you the footage. I don't have to send. We're not gonna play.
We're gonna play it here live, but you know what you can do? Hold on, we'll figure that out. Cause I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do the show on my phone. I'm not gonna do the show on my phone. I'm gonna do my show on my.
I need to make one preference, and this is one. What's the name? During the winter months, no way.
Nah. You know what?
Gotta be something else during the winter months for me. For you, you can still do ice.
You know what? Then we can't do it after every winter loss. You can't get out of here.
What do you mean?
Because we have November, December, and January football games.
No. Listen. Okay, I'll preface this by this because.
Boy, look at that! Y'all look at that evil smile. Here it come.
That's crazy.
There you go, Dick. Go ahead.
I'll say starting like after Thanksgiving. Anything before Thanksgiving, I got you. After Thanksgiving, I can't. It's just gonna be too cold.
So we can stop there.
I'm in Jersey, y'all. And
so we can stop there.
I'm being honest.
For every game up to I'll say this. Every game up to November, or let's say Thanksgiving. And then the final one, we'll have to whoever come lost, they have to do that one last one. Right? Whoever wins. Now, I want to say this. If we get to 5, I need it immediately. Once we hit 5, I ain't waiting. You're not waiting to the end of the season unless it's in the winter week. I mean, the winter months. I understand that part. I'm not, you know what I'm saying. But if we get to 5 and it's still warm outside, I need that ASAP. I need that. If we get to 5 early before you have to double do it. You have to do one for the victory and one for losing the bet. Right? And then once we hit the loss threshold to where we can't win more than 4.5, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So once we hit that, that's 13?
13, yeah.
Once we get to 13, I will have to do a double one. I have to do two on that one. One for the loss and one for losing the initial bet. That's a bet. You don't want to add it in the caveat.
Hold up. I want to write it down just so. Okay, so 1.
Because we're doing.
So every week, one of us is doing an ice bucket challenge. Yes. Ties is just a tie. We don't count it. If there's by any chance there's a tie, we won't do anything.
Oh yeah, because we said over or under 4.5, right? So what if we hit just 4? No, we can't. It ain't no. No, it ain't no tie. There isn't no tie. There's no way we could tie.
No, I'm talking about like say like during the week, the game, it ends in a tie.
Oh yeah, no one. Yeah,
I got ties on my side too. 3-3. Turn me up. For every week. Ice. I'm just writing it down until Thanksgiving.
Hey, Big Fitty say, Tony, you're gonna get a lot of ice water dumped on you. All right, Big Fitty,
Thank you, Nate, because
I know it get cold.
Walking outside is the ice bucket challenge in itself. It is. Okay, so boom.
That was you just came up with that.
All I said was that I would do that. You said, do you want to do that? You would want to put my feet to the fire.
Your ego, you ain't want to back it down.
I wouldn't stand on that. All I was saying was, as much of an exaggeration it is, I would prefer.
Oh, you should have said that. You should have said that.
The Dolphins win 11 games.
So you trying to back out?
If it comes at the cost of me getting ice, you know what? Sure. I'll be all right.
No backing out now.
Give me one of those NFL jackets. There's a couple fireplaces, just get that, some hot chocolate, I don't know. We'll find a way to stay warm. You feel me? There's options. So you're taking the losses.
Hmm?
Sorry, sorry. So you'll be doing it during when the Dolphins lose, you will do the ice bucket challenge.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And then, okay, and the wins. Okay. I just wanted to have this because I don't want people to have to come back and be like, what episode that was. So, are we putting an injury caveat on this or no? That benefits you. No, because you said 11, and we don't have one for the whole season anyway. So no matter what, wins, loss, it's on that. Man, ice production about to go up in South Florida. So I don't know what I'm gonna say.
All right, you say so.
All right, I got this.
Look at the okay. All right, Brett. I'll say no, it's the date. So yeah, that's it for me. At the end of the day, no excuse for Malik Willis. I know y'all probably thought she thought I was gonna make an excuse for that young man. I saw she wouldn't let me get my pad. You know what I'm saying? He for the backtrack. No, I don't. I stand on business.
I didn't
I stand
expect
on,
it.
listen, I hold them. There's a certain standard for me. You know what I'm saying? Whether
I
should be
expect you to
considered health
acknowledge
and
that
safety
you
should be
really
considered.
made a crazy
I will do the ice bucket
prediction
challenge.
without,
Huh?
huh?
No, I was saying Nene, she said weather should be considered health and safety should be considered. I would do the ice bucket challenge outside in the rain. That one I would have to dump myself because I'm not gonna have my brother outside in the rain or nothing like that. I might just dump myself anyway because it's ice. But I'll do it outside in the rain. I ain't making no excuses. I'm built like that. Stop playing with me, man. I'm really like that. I'm just saying. Ain't nobody scared of a little ice. What got going on?
You in the heat of the South. What are you talking about?
You don't want talking like you live. You don't live up north.
That's why I said until Thanksgiving.
Okay, right.
Did I not say that? I'm like, hold
Right.
up. In the winter.
Yeah, we cutting that out. Yeah.
In the
So,
winter.
nah, not gonna happen. It might get cold in fall for y'all. I mean,
and I can't do like a one chip challenge or something like that because
Nene, I would do it in the hurricane. I've been outside doing hurricanes. Nah, it ain't no category 3. You know, nah.
first of all,
two and below.
it really is technically hurricane season. A real hurricane season.
I'll be outside.
Yeah.
Be out,
that was the strangest thing. Like when I first lived in Miami and they were like, yeah, we're going to work. I said, excuse you? Like in a hurricane? They're like, yeah, this is nothing. I'm like,
is it a category 3 or something like that? No, you going in the house. Matter of fact, if it's a category 1 or 2, you gonna stay outside. But I'll peek my head out, whatever. But them tropical storms and all that, like now when that stuff start flying at you is what you gotta be careful because you have rocks flying and you get like I done got hit a couple times with a rock flying and things like that. Don't act like he didn't have any excuse for tour. You on the wrong channel, bro. Like Fred, go.
right.
What are you talking about? Never made it. You know what? I know you were dealing with some health issues, so maybe you forgot who you talking to. Yeah, no, that's the wrong person, my guy. But yeah, Nene, I do it in a hurricane. What I'm really like that. Stop playing with me. Especially if the lights go off and it's hot. I ain't bucket channel. Boom. You feel me? But listen, man, we appreciate y'all, man. It's still 23 of y'all. So, hey, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe, that like button. I hope y'all got us back above 850. If it's your first time, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all. Everyone still rocking with us. Shout out to my sister being back. So we outside. Lou should be back on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Keep my brother up in prayer, but listen, my brother need to get some rest, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Over here, health and safety is first. Like facts, like health and safety is first and family first. So we do that. Tony will be the new Iceman after this season. All right, so I see all y'all naysayers now. That's all I'm saying.
When you hear me
don't
say
switch up doing this.
You know what I mean. I'm not talking about anything that's in the chamber. Run the clip of that ice hitting you.
I listen. Don't no switching up during the season. Tony, aka IIT. Don't switch up. You know, I'm gonna start remembering these names. Pablo Diaz. I already know Game Boy 305 was gonna be against me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all predicting me, you know, to be doing all these ice water challenges. We'll see. Ice bucket challenge, I mean. But Christiani, anything else before we get up out of here?
No, I had a blast, had a great time. Amazing show. You did an amazing
2
job.
hours.
Appreciate you for, doing the slide. I really like it. I really at the bottom, all that. I appreciate
you.
I appreciate you. See you Wednesday. And Lou, prayers up to you. Also, shout out to hurricane season for finally starting. It's the only hurricane season that I choose to ever acknowledge. So shout out to that. Hopefully you guys all stay safe and that there aren't too many hurricanes coming y'all way, because we know that the other hurricane tends to fizzle out when it hits land. Anyway, go ahead, Tone. I'm good.
Shout out to all the haters, you know, that say they don't mention irrelevant teams. So I guess that make us relevant. So
team.
Yeah, but
please tell me when I mentioned an irrelevant team. I mentioned nature, Mother Nature.
I didn't cut you off that one time. I just let you get that.
I'm not gonna let the lie stand. I'm not letting the lie stand. That's what I said. You keep saying that I'm saying something that I'm not saying. That's what I realized. That's your tactic. You'll take something that I say.
You didn't say hurricanes?
You
didn't say hurricanes?
I said it's the only hurricane season that I choose to acknowledge.
And followed up by saying.
And
you followed up that by saying.
What did I say?
The other hurricanes tend to fizzle out when they hit land.
Do hurricanes not tend? Hold up. Do hurricanes not tend to fizzle out when they hit land? Is that not a thing?
Not necessarily, no. Depends on how long they be on land.
They tend to fizzle out when you hit the land. Be like,
yeah. Hurricane Andrew ain't fizzled out
but
at all.
But it doesn't mean that I was talking about
Hurricane Andrew ain't fizzled out at all.
All I'm talking about, because I said some hurricanes, right? So some do, some don't. Depends how, like, to your point, right? So yeah, hurricanes, like an actual hurricane, like Mother Nature, water, wind, storm, things flying around. You know, you gotta board up things and put out sandbags, things something that you actually have to prepare for actually hitting.
Facts.
Yeah, a real hurricane. That's all.
It's facts. Hey man, we appreciate y'all. Gameboy 305. I see you lighting up the chat. Favorite MK character is Sub-Zero. Every one of y'all that was rocking with us, we appreciate y'all. Always best chat on YouTube, hands down, bar none. Hit the subscribe button if you're first time over here. And if it ain't your first time over here, go find someone to tell them about the channel so they can come subscribe over here and support the channel. We appreciate y'all. The revolver goes to y'all know it go to all my people in the chat for rocking with us every episode. And we out. Peace.